Hey everyone, this is Carrie Stevens, and I am here to conquer the Shout It Out Loudcast. That's right, Tom and Zeus are in big trouble. Bend over, boys. Carrie's taking over.
I'll give you fever, I'll give you fever, I'll give you chills, I'll give you chills, make you a believer, yeah, baby, baby, you're gonna break your will, yeah.
Hello. Hey, what's up, Army? Tom and Zeus with another episode of Shout It Out Loudcast. Tom, this is episode 100.
I can't believe we made it. Unbelievable. Yep. And what a celebration we have. Wow.
Yeah. And we're calling this one Bruce Kulick and Chris Jericho KISS Draft VIII. The Bruce Kulick Draft. How about that intro by Mr. Jericho there?
Oh, beautiful. That's what everybody came here to hear and listen to. And oh my God, there's a lot more where that came from. Wow.
There's a reason that's in the beginning. You'll hear why in the middle of the episode.
Exactly. Yes. Yep.
Yeah, so we definitely wanted to add this in. So yes. Guys, we obviously wouldn't be here without all of your support. So before we get started, let's just say, let's get it out in the open, and we'll probably say this a bunch of times. Thank you. With all you loudcasters out there, all KISS Army out there, we so appreciate all your support. You guys have made this fun for us. We're having a blast doing it, and here's to another 100 more, right?
Absolutely, and that leads me to something that I wanted to mention a little bit later on in the show, but I'll mention it right now. I echo the sentiments of Zeus right there, but I noticed that today, a lot of you people out there that listen to our show on Spotify has done their end of the year wrap up thing where they kind of compile everything that you've listened to, your favorite artists, your favorite songs, and they also keep track of your favorite podcasts. And I have commented and shared a little bit of it on Facebook and Twitter, but you guys reaching out to us and showing us the screenshots from your Spotify saying that the number one podcast that you listened to all year was Shout It Out Loudcast, or Shout It Out Loudcast was number 2 or 3. We can't thank you enough for that. It's just amazing. And just this episode 100 is just a celebration of not just the show, but it's the celebration of the fans. And like Zeus said, without you, there would not be an episode 100. So thank you guys.
Yeah, we'll get into it. But as usual, we always start with the previous episode. We talked about KISS Masquerade, and we had Neil Davis and Phil Chouse on, and they were awesome. Great fun. I can't wait for KISS Masquerade. Obviously, the great Bruce Kulick will be on there playing with Todd Kerns, an acoustic set, so I can't wait for that. But we always start off with a poll. And what was the poll we did last week?
Yeah, so after we talked with Neil and Phil, one of the descriptions to the event that Phil said was his band was going to play Rock and Roll Over in its entirety. So we thought, okay, what's another album that some of the Shout It Out Loudcasters would want to hear in its entirety? And we kind of took a little bit of a detour because obviously we left out, Destroyer and Love Gun and Hotter Than Hell and those albums. So we went with ones that we know that the diehards will love and kind of wanted to see where it would fall. So the options were Dynasty, Unmasked, Music from the Elder, and Lick It Up. I was really surprised at how close this was. I was pleasantly surprised with how close this was. But with 30%, Lick It Up was the winner. Okay, but then Dynasty with 29%. Unmasked 28%, and then Music from the Elder, of course, bring it up the rear with 13%. So pretty much Dynasty, Unmasked, and Lick It Up all got 30% of the vote, which is a pretty interesting spread there for a poll like that. So I thought that was interesting. It just shows you that KISS fans out there, they like everything, or they just have a varied taste like we do. So an interesting one.
Yeah, I think I changed my mind about 5 times on that. And then I came to the conclusion, I'm just going to vote for Dynasty because all 4 guys sing. So maybe Phil's band would pick all 4 guys would sing. I don't know. I mean, I love Lick It Up, but the nostalgia in me goes to I Want a Makeup album. Although Lick It Up is probably one of my favorite albums.
Yeah, I think the most interesting one would have been music from the Elder. But after we do the poll, we always talk about some poll comments. So we got some interesting ones here. Uncle Paulie says, dudes, got to go with Dynasty. Twisted Kister says, when I voted for Lick It Up, it was losing and badly. Unmasked was in the lead. I'm glad to see the tide turning. So Lick It Up, it did end up winning barely. Deuce says, as much as I dislike the Elder, I'd rather hear that 3 times before I'm tortured with Unmasked. Oh, come on, man. Come on. The Australian Fox, our new Twitter friend, Scott Donaldson from Kisteria. He's now on Twitter as the Australian Fox. He says, would have to go with Lick It Up. My band has played Dynasty, Unmasked, and most of the Elder. I would love to hear Not for the Innocent. All right. James 6 Star says, I picked Unmasked, but with a 3-song encore of Sure Know Something, Escape from the Island, and All Hell's Breaking Loose. Okay, that's a good way to cheat. Heavy Mayo says Dynasty for sure. Tony, our buddy Tony from Restrained, this is the perfect Kiss answer. I chose Dynasty, but ask me again tomorrow. That's pretty much the life of a Kiss fan. So great poll, great comments. And then we can move over to the episode itself, the comments. And I liked the feedback that we got on this because I think a lot of people were excited about a Kiss-centric event that had a lot of moving parts, a lot of guests, a lot of activity. So Deuce was funny again. He says, great interview, so much passion and excitement from all 4 of you that I have now jacked up about a live stream. Rock Entirety, Deep Cuts, Bruce Kulick, and Stewart, all for $12. I'm in. All right, it's a good way to put it. I like it. I Love It's Louder says, the Phil Schaus is the man, hyped for this. Steve, our buddy, says, another great episode. You guys always manage to bring amazing guests. This looks like a shit-hot event with a great lineup, but I'm still waiting for Vinny to announce one. Sean DeHaan, very cool episode. Interviews with Phil are always interesting. Our buddy Jack Panak talks about Joey Casada and how he wants his theme. Somebody commented on that. He said, great episode, guys. I'm honestly excited for Kissmas and then the New Year's Eve show. And then our big fan of the show, our buddy Andy from Florida, he says, so cool to hear more details. I can't wait to go. He says, I already got my ticket. So he's actually going to go. And I commented back saying, check back with us and let us know, how it was being there hands-on, because I don't think we know many people that are going to physically be there.
Yeah.
So cool event, and that's the excitement from Twitter.
So on Facebook, none other than Kevin Jepson. Great interview. Event should be a blast. I will stream it, but I really wish I could be there in person. And Philip Schaus is seriously the coolest fucker around. Every time I see him, he's the best and a phenomenal musician as well. And then Phil responded with an aw.
Yeah, I saw that's awesome.
Rick Guerra, who happened to text me, Tom, a direct message last night about the Ripper. And he goes, oh, no, here's another one. And sent a photo of the Ripper kind of looking like she was going to, rip one out. Rick Guerra, another great episode. This event looks badass. Can't wait for it. Now back to listening to the new Jerky Boys album.
Very proud of you. That's very nice.
Yes, that's breaking news.
Todd Hughes, the Zeus highlight comment. And who is that smoke show? My wife. Laughing my ass off. Awesome episode and looking forward to this great sounding event.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that was definitely. I'm glad Neil was a good sport about it and Phil was dying. But that's usually me. I'll put my foot in my mouth sometimes. Listen for it in the middle of the episode too.
Oh yeah, when we
did. And Jericho corrects me, and I did it again.
Yep.
So that's Facebook, and then on YouTube, our buddy Marty White writes, sounds like Devereaux sabotaged Neil's connection.
That was so funny. Oh my God. Oh, that was great. Anytime we can get a Phantom of the Park reference is just top shelf. Love it.
Come on, we got to do it. Devereaux.
Yeah. 617-422. I didn't know what I was supposed to do because usually when it's Kiss Meets the Phantom, it's like Star Child.
Let's go.
The best part of that is the conversation when they're in those big high chairs with those silver gowns on.
Gene's brother's an only child. Ass. Easy, cat man. They are serious.
And they have guns.
Oh, I don't know where the lisp came from, but he starts having a lisp in the middle of the episode.
I can't wait for the Phantom episode. Oh my God.
Absolutely. So we'll push that episode aside. Please, everybody, KISS Masquerade live and streaming worldwide, December 18th and 19th in Florida. If you can make it out there, make it out there. It's going to be full of tons of people there. Rick Derringer, Jean Beauvoir, Bruce Kulick, and Todd Kearns are going to be streaming in a live and unplugged set list. Enough's enough. The Talisman, Phil Schaus, they're playing rock and roll over the whole album. There's going to be a ton more events. There'll be vendors there, all sorts of stuff. Don't forget KISS Masquerade. I believe you can go to, Kissmas2020.com for all details. Kissmas2020.com, all details.
Yep.
Tom, that is last week's episode. What's going on in KISS world?
So it's been a quiet week. Everybody is still, kind of excited and strong opinions on both sides about the New Year's Eve streaming event. We've covered that. You guys have talked about your opinions on that. But in terms of just straight news, nothing really today. There was some sad news from the KISS family. KISS's official social media tweeted out today that it said, "We are saddened by the passing of our longtime friend and KISS bus driver, Ron the Bear Jones. Rest in peace. He always kept us laughing, and only a man that tall could have a heart that big. Our deepest sympathies to his family and friends." And then, of course, Gene retweeted that with a quote that said, "Warm it up, Bear," with a sad face emoji. So that must be probably something that they would say to get the bus going, warm it up, Bear, or whatever. So, again, Gene wearing his heart on his sleeve, very emotional when it comes to people in the KISS family. So condolences to the Jones family and in the KISS Army and the people that were friendly with him.
Yeah. Paul, he didn't say anything on that, but, not yet. Paul did do something this week, which is like getting me to think he's coming around. He's coming around. He retweeted Bruce's awesome Asylum video where Bruce actually talked about it in our episode coming up. You'll hear about it. The Who, where they performed The Who's Won't Get Fooled Again. And then Paul retweeted it. Bruce even said it to us, like he never really does that.
Yep.
He was really proud of it. How original back then. Think about how insane it is for us to imagine them doing something spontaneous like that. Like, hey, let's fucking play it tonight.
Yeah.
All three members sang, except for Bruce. Eric Carr sang a verse. Gene did. Paul did. That's fucking incredible.
Yeah, and if people aren't sure what we're talking about, as Bruce did with his Hot in the Shade tour memories video, he published the Asylum because it was the anniversary of the Asylum tour. So what Zeus was just referring to was the video that he put together with fan footage video and then soundboard audio to the band doing "Won't Get Fooled Again," and it was just very impressive. And Paul retweeted it and said, "Bruce posted this. He put live fan footage together with his soundboard tape. This is the Bruce, Eric Carr, me, and Gene lineup killing it on the Who's Won't Get Fooled Again. Awesome job, Bruce." And Bruce was very excited about that. He had some comments about that. So that was interesting to see from Bruce. And that was a great video. Those tour memory videos are just awesome. So I hope there's a lot more where those came from, and I'm sure there will be.
Yeah. So we're trying to keep it a little bit shorter and sweeter because the main part of this episode and what you guys want to hear is what's coming up. Let's get the background here.
Sure.
We've been talking to Bruce for quite some time, and sure, we'd love to have had him on earlier, but how much better is it that we got him on for our 100th? Along the way, Mr. Chris Jericho, and I must say this, helped tremendously.
Yes.
We say this before, and we all kidding aside, we joke with Chris and things like that, but he really has been a friend to this show.
Yeah.
He has gone out of his way to help us. Never mind the hilarious text exchanges we constantly have, the insults, the laughing, the stupid inside jokes we're starting to get with him. But, he was the first one. Like, did you talk to Bruce? Okay, here you go. Let's set this up. Tell Bruce I want to be involved with this. Let's get this going. I mean, just like he did with the KISS March Non-Makeup Madness tournament, and he got a bunch of more people involved, he did the same for this. He wanted to make sure our 100th episode went great. And what better way, not only just Bruce, but Chris. Chris got, in my opinion, Bruce to open up a lot more than he's probably used to. And Bruce felt comfortable with us. And I must say this. I don't care if it's bragging or what. I have yet to hear Bruce give this much detail in this much information in any other interview form. And Tom, we talked about this, and you're so right. We're like, you know what? The best way to have Bruce to get involved about his era and to talk about it, a KISS draft, where every song that we mention, maybe he can give a little quick story. We didn't even ask him to do that, did we, Tom?
We did not. And what I hoped for, that we had talked about before we even went live and everything, was I said the perfect scenario here would be for us to pick songs in the draft and then just have Bruce kind of be like, oh yeah, well, back when we did this, the solo, and that's what he gave us. And you guys are going to hear that. It was it was everything we could have hoped for and more. Yes, obviously having Bruce on here was a thrill. And having Jericho on here was a thrill. Jericho adds his humor. Jericho, as Zeus said, made Bruce feel comfortable with us. But Bruce opening up and telling stories about almost every song we drafted and talked about. He had a little bit more to say than other songs. He gave some really interesting tidbits. And I mean really interesting tidbits.
There's stories that he lays in this episode that I haven't heard. And he actually puts his phone up. I'm sorry, but we were kind of laughing, and Chris scolded us a little. Fucking hilarious.
Oh, you'll hear it.
Listen for it. I never heard this. I never knew it. He has it on his phone, and he played it for us.
Yep.
You guys will be able. You're gonna have to listen up. You guys will be able to hear it. I've never heard of this, and it's a one of a kind. Can't wait for you guys to comment on it. There's a lot of tidbit and information that Bruce opened up about that I've never heard. I know Tommy's never heard. Even Chris was like, what?
Yep.
It's awesome. So it's one thing to just have Bruce on, just Bruce, and being the gentleman that he is, and a member of KISS. He was that and then some. And he was also just as nice as he seems. He was the same way off.
Yep.
Same way.
Yep.
Gentleman, class act, funny, down to earth. You can tell he has a admiration and respect and love for KISS fans. He appreciates that we appreciate him. He really enjoys it. It showed.
That's a huge thing too that comes through. He is so appreciative and grateful for his fans, and he knows how much his fans appreciate him and love his era, and he embraces that and doesn't take advantage of it and doesn't take it for granted. So before we drop this and let you guys enjoy this, it's just funny how when you hear the recording, so the four of us are talking and Jericho's doing his thing, and we're like, we haven't even hit record yet. And he's like, oh, what the fuck? So then all of a sudden Zeus just hits record. So when you hear this, we're in the middle of ranting and raving. It's fucking
yeah. He's great. Like, what are you, an amateur? You hit record as soon as you go on and go, I'm not going to record without saying to you guys I'm recording. He's
right.
Like, what the hell's wrong with you? You got to get it. You missed all the good stuff. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yep.
Anyway, but usually before we get into all this stuff, we got to tell you about something along the way. our little sponsor. And we'll be as polite as possible because, you know, we're getting into the holiday spirit. We don't want to get too crude yet.
Not yet. Yeah, this will be the most crude-free episode, maybe. But yeah, it's the holiday season, and we always talk about our sponsor, adamandeve.com. You want to check them out because promo code Loudcast is going to give you a ton of free stuff. Maybe some of those things could be stocking stuffers. Who knows? But you buy what you grab the items that you want, put them in your cart on the website. You
put them anywhere you want.
Well, you could do that too. You use that promo code Loudcast at checkout. You're going to get free shipping, 6 free spicy videos, a free gift for you, free gift for your partner, a free gift for the two of you, all kinds of extra add-ons. It's great. And again, we say it's the holiday season. Everybody's feeling lovey. You know, the New Year's are rolling around. People can't wait to get 2020 behind them. What better way to ring in the new year than with a little gift basket from adamandeve.com. So check them out and use promo code Loudcast.
You might be able to get the Paul Stanley sailor hat from the All Night video at adamandeve.com.
I don't know if the promo code will give you that, but you might have to pay full price for that one.
Yeah. If you're paying full price for that, you're definitely getting fucked. Sorry.
There you go.
But anyways, let's get back to why everyone is going to be tuning in today. This is our interview with Chris Jericho and Bruce Kulick and our KISS draft that we've done. This is our 8th draft. And what a better way to do a draft than to say it's the Bruce Kulick draft. And the Bruce Kulick draft consists of songs from the albums Asylum through Carnival of Souls. And Bruce himself is drafting himself. So
yep.
Bruce Kulick, Chris Jericho, Bruce Kulick Draft. Take it away.
We were on fire for that, man.
Well, we're recording
He's
now.
Always on camera. Chris is always on camera, so he knows this shit. We're amateurs. You're right.
Mr. Showbiz.
I think this intro. I think the cold opening is actually a better intro for our listeners. They're gonna tune in and just hear the chaos here. That's better than a formal intro.
It's chaotic. Yes.
Yes, it's great, But Zeus, maybe we should just tell people exactly what's happening here so that they don't tune in and we're like, what the hell am I walking into, as they usually do when they hear us.
All right. So this is our 100th episode. We have our best guest that we've ever had on the show, Mr. Chris Jericho. And then we topped it off. Sorry, Chris, with their even better guest, Bruce Kulick.
Uh-oh, a better one. Wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we have Bruce and Chris for a Bruce Kulick KISS draft.
Yeah, no better way to celebrate episode 100, guys. Thank you so much. This is awesome. This is going to be a blast. Chris, Bruce, we're thrilled and honored to have you guys be a part of episode 100. So this is going to be a great time.
Cool.
It's probably the greatest moment of my life.
I can tell. You know what, Chris? I think we may have to release the video just so people can see the reaction on your face and the excitement that you have right now for this.
Well, I'm still trying to. I forgot that you guys gave me a bunch of songs. So I know them all off by heart, anyways. But I have to keep track of what everybody else is picking. So
I think the funny thing for me right now is Bruce the Bruce Kulick Draft.
I actually texted Chris earlier this morning saying, like, I don't even know how this works. Can you explain it to me? And he left me a lovely, personal message. Actually, I saved the audio. It was fun.
Well, because
looking forward to this. This should be great.
Bruce was involved in the Sweet 64 KISS. What was it called? Did you guys
the non-makeup madness tournament, the brackets? Yeah.
And Bruce also asked me about that one too. So it's bad if I'm the sports expert because I know fuck all about sports, but at least I knew enough to explain to Bruce what it was.
You're a little closer to sports than I am with your wrestling fame. But thank you. I did understand it better. And let's begin. This looks like fun.
All right. Now, before we begin on this, there's a question I have to ask. So I put the songs from the Bruce Kulick KISS era, starting with The Silent, ending with Carnival of Souls. I also put a list of miscellaneous. And these are the songs that, Bruce, I found that you have some sort of credit on, and there were 2 songs from Animalize. There were a few songs from Psycho Circus. I also put like Sword and Stone.
Really minimal, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
We can include those or we can exclude those in this draft.
I saw that draft. I don't think really we need to add in those 10, those extra ones, you know.
Perfect. Okay. That's fine. That's fine.
So we're sticking to Asylum through Carnival of Souls.
Correct. Yeah.
Perfect.
I would prefer that because even though there's some of those I like, but I don't like them more than some of my body of work.
Okay. Absolutely.
Excellent. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah. So we're going to do this draft wise. It goes, Bruce, since it's your first time on our show, you will get the first pick, then Chris, then Tom, then me. And it's going to go like a snake. It comes back that I get 2 picks because I'm the last, and then Tom, then Chris, and then you, Bruce, with 2 picks in a row.
Got it.
And then everybody's going to make a 10-song set list, and then we're just going to have a lot of fun, kind of enjoying each other's picks and maybe teasing each other about certain picks. Who knows where we land?
Okay, so that 10-song thing will be the ones that from this going around.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Yep. And we'll post it afterwards, and we'll have it as a poll, and we'll see whose song list is favored by our fans. I got a feeling somebody I know is going to win, but that's okay.
What's the winning? I didn't understand. How does someone win?
So it's for this. This is just This
is just fun. There's no winner.
Right. Yeah. But you said win.
When I said win, because I'm a competitive bastard, I will put this up on social media on Twitter.
Oh, and that would be a win.
And there'll be a poll, and we'll let all the listeners, and we'll hopefully you guys will spread it out there. Who picked the best 10-song list?
Right. Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. So Bruce, you have the first pick in the Bruce Kulick KISS Draft. What song are you taking?
Yeah, I'm going to choose Tears Are Falling.
Oh, wonderful.
Because it's a highlight for me with my guitar solo and taking a shower in the video.
Yeah. Bruce, you laugh. When I was younger and I was listening to that, I was imagining myself in the shower with a guitar playing like that too. You'd be surprised how many KISS fans were thinking that way.
I bet.
Did you imagine Bruce is in the shower with you?
That's what I thought he was going to say.
Actually, Paul. I was hoping Paul would jump in.
Paul, yeah, that's a better choice.
Yeah, with his chest and everything, and be nice. It'll look nicer. So that's a great pick, Chris. You're up, buddy.
Oh, I'm second. Okay. Wow. This, as you know, this is my favorite era of KISS, so it's hard to choose. But I'll jump in with Unholy.
Oh. God. You're lucky that I love you because that was going to be my number 1 pick, but
it's a draft. What does it matter? I don't care if you love me or hate me. It's a draft, man.
It was on my list too. Okay.
Yeah, with that song off of it's probably my favorite non-makeup song, and Bruce's your solo on that is just it's absolutely
it's an aggressive one.
Yes,
well,
it is.
Once again, for me, the reason why I always loved Unholy is because being an 80s KISS fan, Paul's songs were always the single. They were always the videos. So when they've been gone for a few years, and then you see the Revenge poster all dressed in leather and everyone looks cool, kind of finally got through the neon 80s era, and then riff starts, and then it was so heavy. And then when Gene started singing, because they showed the video on Much Music in Canada, I was almost disappointed at first because I was like, it's a Gene song? No.
Right.
And then halfway through, you're like, oh my God, this is the greatest thing ever. And then afterwards, you realize this is the return of Gene Simmons, quote unquote, to KISS.
And what was the second song that came out from the Revenge push? The second video?
It was Domino, right?
Right. So if you're Paul Stanley, what's your opinion of that?
I'll tell you, because I asked him, he said, I don't think it was the right decision.
Right. And then, of course, we came back with Just Wanna. I Just Wanna. But it was a big brouhaha. I'll use that weird word.
Really?
Okay. Yeah. Interesting. All right.
Well, those are cool songs. I mean, look, I think Paul had great stuff. And we did Every Time I Look at You as well, of course.
Yeah.
But to have the first 2, if you're right, Domino was second. It was probably politically a little stressful. Because those guys, they are a competitive balance, though. But through most of my era, Paul was clearly at the helm,
right,
and in charge. Because Gene was just without the makeup and everything, and he had his other aspirations, business and acting and all that. Thankfully, Paul handled it quite well. But with Revenge, we're working with Ezra, and it's a whole nother animal. God Gave Two, that became a video. So we did a lot of them from that effort from Revenge, which is one of my favorite records, actually, of course.
Absolutely.
Okay, who's next?
All right, I'm next. So I wasn't expecting Chris to take Unholy with his number one pick, so it caught me off guard. But speaking of Revenge, I'm going to stick with Revenge, and I am going to go with I Just Wanna.
Wow. Okay. Here we go. And I just mentioned that one.
Yep. Anything off Revenge is going to rise to the top. I mean, I love the entire era here, so it's really easy pickings for me. But between the video, just the song itself, and again, these solos on Revenge are just so spectacular to me that it's one of the, in the production on that album. It's just one of the reasons why I just love everything about it. So
cool.
Zeus, you're up, buddy. Number one pick.
I almost feel bad picking this, Bruce.
No,
but Forever.
No, it was on my list.
Yeah, I mean, I feel bad that I'm stealing it from you, but the solo, come on, everybody talks about that, and no one's been able to.
In these first four, when people give me like, maybe they have some understanding of my career with KISS, but it's something I love to brag about. The fact that I could be the lead guitarist who could be that guy from the track that Chris picked, and Unholy, a very aggressive metal, wah-wah, whammy bar solo. And then I'm sitting with an acoustic guitar playing a very Jimmy Page, Spanish-ish, memorable solo that people get married to on an acoustic guitar. So for me, that's a huge win. I mean, huge.
Spectacular. That solo is just epic. So
it's
Zeus,
funny. I just want to use a slide, which is something at times, which I'm not really a slide player, but I could fool around with it. I was petrified using it, but we didn't do it much live. And I think I imitated it. I don't even think I used it. But anyway, these are great. And Tears, I always think is just that melodic and flash solo but I'm always connecting the video to it. So it's special for me.
So Zeus, back to you. We're going to swing back around. So Zeus, you pick again, and then we swing back around to Bruce.
I always say there's a fine line of Paul Stanley 80s cheesy sex lyrics.
Yep.
And if you watch out, you end up on the bang bang you side. But if you do it right, you end up with let's put the X in sex. I fucking love that song.
Right. That was on my list too.
I love that song. It is such a cool, and just the lyrics, just the right amount of cheese, and it's perfect. Except the video. I don't know who, and I know Paul complained about who picked the girls out for these videos. I'm sure all lovely ladies, but they just don't look like girls in a KISS video.
Yeah, it was done by for some reason, and Paul is great. Dresser with his clothes. He's very fashionable. He knows all the good designers. And obviously we had, help for tours, but there was a theme for that. Somehow, I don't know why though, but he chose a lady that was more in the fashion district and with like kind of, and the models and the girls were not the rock people. They were the models. Okay. And I agree that went the wrong way. I mean, the only thing interesting was some of the buildings having those X that was down by the World Trade Center. I actually think those buildings might not have survived the 9/11 actually, but that's that part of it was interesting. But the girls were the wrong choice compared to the earlier videos I did that had the girls in it.
Yeah, Tom.
Nice. All right, so I got to give some more love to Hot in the Shade. I'm wearing my Hot in the Shade shirt here. It was the first KISS show I ever saw. Bruce, Hot in the Shade, 1990. Love the album, love the tour, and I'm gonna go with Hide Your Heart.
All right, that was on my list too. Thank you.
Yep.
I got a funny story with that. You
tell.
Son, Evan's very talented guitar player. He's a great musician, really good. And even when he was young, he was playing guitar really well.
Wow.
And I remember Paul calling me and saying like, "Hey, Evan's working on, Hide Your Heart, and can you help him out?" This is before like people doing Skype lessons and things like that. So I'm just talking to him on the cell phone, and going, "No, you're on the 9th and 7th fret, and you play Hear the Riffs," and I'm actually like explaining it to him. You know, I thought that was
Nice.
so much fun. You know,
That's awesome.
The fact that his kid took a real liking to it and wanted to know the riff. So,
Oh yeah.
but a cool track, and I don't care how many other people covered it. To me, there were other good versions, but I still think Paul delivering it is always the win. Okay.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. Yep.
Exactly.
Chris, back to you, buddy.
I'm going to choose the song that Bruce and I played on together in quarantine, Heart of Chrome.
Oh, beautiful.
Nice.
Speaking of quarantine, yes, that was amazing. Between No, No, No and Heart of Chrome, love that you guys picked like real deep cuts. They came out just amazing.
The cool thing was, I don't think I told you this, Bruce, is that No, No, No actually got to 25 on the charts.
So cool.
Which I think makes it the highest charting single from the Crazy Nights record.
Yeah, there you go.
I sent that to Paul, and he texted me back with a barfing emoji.
Wow.
Very competitive, but I even saw a thread that happened where they were sharing the two, because Gene obviously was very flattered by that.
Yeah,
sharing it with me through the guy that works for them for social media, and I'm like, but before I even get a chance to respond, I remember then Paul sends back like, yeah, and they did Heart of Chrome. And I swear to you, I love that because they were like territorial about the
of course
their choices, and I think that's cool. But obviously, I just kind of stayed out of it and just said, "Have a good weekend, guys." But what am I going to say? Yeah, I like,
right.
Well, first of all, terrific players, Pete
yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
I know I've gotten very close with all three of them, especially Joe. Guitar players and nerds.
Yes, of course.
Out with gear and stuff. And I hooked him up. He's like now the country rock golden child for ESP guitars. Actually,
that's awesome.
Great. Yeah.
Wow.
So Joe and I chat a lot, and we, but what he did on No 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 was unbelievable. I was just like blown away. So you got all that talent, and it's something to be proud of, and it's something I've been proud of. So thanks for that invitation.
Well,
I'm glad you guys are digging it.
One of the cool things quickly was I sent that to Paul, and I said, just like you said, Paul's very direct. He doesn't exaggerate. And he basically goes, dude, you nailed it. That was great. Because I said, this is a high ass melody. He goes, if you can do it in the right melody and the right key, then you got something going. And he said, you nailed it. So that was pretty cool to hear from him. So
nice.
All right.
So Bruce, we're back to you with you get 2 picks in a row.
I get 2. Okay.
Yes.
All right. I'm going to go one. I mean, not that someone else might not have picked it, but it meant so much to me. I'm going to say I Walk Alone.
Oh, nice.
Oh, excellent.
Of course.
Good for you. Yeah. Great song. It was nice to see you getting finally getting a vocal, especially on that album. So
but
which I love.
You guys should know it was not actually ever meant to be. Okay. It was going to be Gene's song. I just kept doing the demo and worked on it because Gene and I refined it, and then I got kind of clever with the backward stuff and the flip, just doing a lot of things, taking a bridge from a different version and turning it upside down and all that crazy stuff that I explain in those videos on my YouTube channel. But honestly, it was Toby Wright who was producing us who said, "Look, no, Bruce, you got to sing that." You know what I mean? Now he didn't know about the reunion tour yet.
Oh!
But he just kind of felt. I guess he knew he was a big KISS fan, even the makeup era and all, of course. And then I think he thought, having someone else sing a song is important and KISS and whatever. So I didn't realize how prophetic the lyrics were, but I Walk Alone because the record barely came out. It just like
right.
Okay, I got to pick a second one, right?
Yes.
Oh dear, there's so many good ones.
He says how pathetic the lyrics are. Bruce, you've heard some of the other KISS songs, right?
He said prophetic.
Oh, I thought you said pathetic.
No, prophetic.
Bruce, don't sell yourself short, buddy.
No. And he wrote the lyrics with a very kind of singular, that kind of like, some guy is just like socially weird, sitting in a corner. He loved that Trent Reznor loved him. And he admired some of what was going on with those bands too. And he loved Radiohead at the time, and there was that song "I'm a Loser," and then there was like "Creep," you know what I mean? And so Gene was identifying with this like kind of dark, kind of lonely soul, because instead of being the War Machine or the God of Thunder or whatever, the demon kind of things. So lyrically, he looked at that as like, there's lyrics in, I mean, there are lines in that of course you're still standing up for yourself, but you don't see me, you don't know me, I'm me, and Gene is very, he is an island. He doesn't really socialize, but he has a tremendous, not only talent and brain, but he's actually really kind and generous, but he's not like, I could see a lot of the things in his lyrics are parts of him. He's really, he's a man of 1,000 faces.
Exactly.
All right. So my other choice, I mean, there's so many good ones I want to say, but I'm going to go with something that I felt, even though, I was a little incorrect in a way saying that The Who Won't Get Fooled Again, which exploded on the internet, thankfully, was the only cover song of my era. Really, in a way, but the lyrics were changed, and certainly our production. God Gave Rock and Roll to You Too.
Oh, wow.
It's just such a fantastic song. I feel that represents the band in a strong way, especially the arrangement from Ezrin and just the vocals trading off between Gene and Paul, and my solo and the harmonies and the breakdown, which features Eric Carr, even though it was Eric Singer playing drums by then on that track. So that song is always, it's been the anthem for my era. So I hope you guys respect that I chose that one. Okay.
Absolutely. No doubt.
A lot of people don't realize that it is a cover song.
Yes. Yep. But if you listen, Chris, you'd crawl up in a ball if you listen to the lyrics.
Yeah.
Hippie, like little.
Very hippie. Yeah.
They're really hippie. Paul used to love to make fun of that. But when Argent came up with that and that guy wrote it, then that hippy dippy stuff was fine. But that's not KISS. We've never been hippy dippy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Let me ask you a quick question, Bruce. Something that I never thought of. When you do a cover song, obviously, there's you pay royalties and rights fees and all that stuff. When you do a cover song, do you have to get permission to change the lyrics?
Yes, they did.
Gotcha.
Especially knowing it's coming out on a KISS.
Right.
Now obviously when the publishers of KISS and the management contact whoever owns and the artist of the writing. You're not going to say no. You'd have to be like maybe a Howard Hughes freak.
Right.
Say, no, you can't do it. You know what I mean? So you're going to say, go ahead and do it because it's going to be a lot of coin for them and a lot of exposure for that songwriter and or band that it's connected to. But you do. Especially if you're changing lyrics.
Sure, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yep. Chris, you're up, buddy.
Wow, there's so many cool ones to choose.
There are.
I think I'm going to go with a song that I feel, and I've spoken to Paul about this, had you guys had much more of a radio push, could have been like a Living on a Prayer type level hit, and that's Turn on the Night.
Yes, it's on my list.
I think it's such a great tune. It's super catchy. It's perfect for that era. Obviously, people now go, there's so many keyboards or whatever, but that's what was hot at the time. And I just think, if you guys would have had a little more of a radio push, that song could have been much bigger.
Yeah, we never did it live, but when I've done it with, my boys, so people go nuts.
People love it.
They love X and Sex too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Because people never get to see those live, like you said. Yeah.
Yep. Well, we did a summer draft. Me and Tom made a list of songs that KISS could blast in the summer that would really work. I think me and Tom both picked, not knowing, Turn on the Night as number one.
Oh, totally.
I think that song works.
Yeah.
Especially our era.
Yep. No, it's a great anthem. It's a great upbeat party song.
I was featuring it a lot in that video I did regarding the guitar I used in the video. And then I played a little bit of the solo. But why we didn't include that in the set? We had the offstage keyboard, the pad things. It didn't work. Yeah. But it just there was a lot of songs like that. I was like, how come we never got around to that? But whatever. It lives on. That's the
Absolutely. All right. So for me, I'm going to go back to Revenge. People that listen to this show, they know I love Revenge, and they know that I love this song. It was never a hit, but again, the song is heavy. It rips. It's got another killer solo by you, Bruce, and I love it. And that is Thou Shalt Not.
All right. Yeah.
I love that song. The groove of that song, the pace of the song. Gene sounds terrific. Eric just driving that. And then again, Bruce, just another real aggressive, heavy solo. And I just love it.
Trick question then about any of you guys know, I hint at a kind of a classical piece in there. Yeah.
Yes. I don't know what it's called, but every time I hear it, Yes. What is it, Chris?
Hall of the Mountain King.
Yes, Bob.
Oh, Sabotage?
No, it's not Sabotage. It's like a Wagner piece or something.
Yeah.
I actually, when I was on Dancing with the Stars, they did an orchestra week, and that's the song that they gave me was Hall of the Mountain King. And I was like, this is just like Bruce Kulick solo from Thou Shalt Not.
Yes. Well, no, Chris. The reason I said Sabotage is because we have a lot of friends who love Sabotage.
Of course,
Mountain King.
That's the beginning.
Yes. Yep, love it, love it.
Wow.
All right, Zeus, 2 picks for you in a row, buddy.
All right. It's always a lot of pressure when I get it 2 in a row. All right. Chris took
Tom, turn your camera on, man.
My camera is on. I think Skype's cutting out. It's happening to you guys too. Every once in a while, the camera cuts out. But
I see all 3 of your handsome faces. You're fine.
Yeah.
All right. So another one of those, cut the fine line. Let's put the X and F. Perfect sex lyrics. Best groove. Best song when I watch Kiss Confidential. I know my friends love watching it.
Yep.
And that's Take It Off.
Oh,
that
nice.
song kicks ass. I don't think Paul would be caught dead doing that shit on stage now with girls and taking tops off, strippers all walking around. But holy Christ, when me and Tom were in college and we'd watch those tapes over and over again, Take It Off was definitely a favorite.
Cool. Oh, that is Paul's lyrical masterpiece. If you talk about sex lyrics,
we quote that constantly.
Oh yeah, totally.
That we go to parent meetings. We help the fellow mothers in the group are like, wave your panties in the air and all that stuff. Oh, come on.
There's a connection to my Won't Get Fooled Again thing because that song has that
Oh yes. Yep.
Oh, nice.
You get that?
Oh shit.
Yeah,
right.
totally. Yeah.
I didn't. Yeah, you're so right.
Yep.
Didn't even think of that.
I mean,
Oh,
very Who.
man.
Once again, influenced by Who. And I forgot, actually, even though this post was real important that I just did with the video, that they were doing that. They still have that Who thing in the show, but only like a part of it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, during Lick It Up.
Look it up.
Which is why that's a great connection, because I remember when I saw that, I was kind of like, wait a minute, I know that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
yeah, it was cool.
I love it when all the eras connect, and I've been part of even the current things,
I was just going to say too, Bruce, we spoke about it briefly before Zeus forgot to press record. The coolest thing about Won't Get Fooled Again is how you guys played that intro, which is by the Who's keyboards, but you guys did almost like a rock bottom thing with 2 separate guitars harmonizing in and out. That was very much a Stones type of a thing.
No idea how we came up with that. All I know is it kind of worked. I know I used to sometimes imitate by playing double notes and getting the movement. But it does, and it works like the intro to Shout It Out Loud, where there's just simple notes, but one's moving, the other one's not.
Yeah,
it was
awesome,
great. So it worked. I don't know. The reaction's been incredible, and I'm so happy for that.
Oh yeah.
There was always a part of me that was wondering, wait a minute, we're doing a Kiss song. I mean, a cover tune, and we're Kiss, But then again, I know the message of that song and the power of the Who. And
it was great.
Nice. Zeus,
right,
back to you.
The second one there.
All right. So my second pick is a deep cut for me and Tom, but I know he loves this, so I know I'm stealing it from him. And it's part of a trifecta of songs on Hot in the Shade that for some reason never get played and don't get the love, but there's such awesome 3 songs on Hot in the Shade that I wish they would give more love to. But the first of these I'm going to take is You Love Me to Hate You.
Wow.
Love that song. Paul's vocals on that are incredible. Love that song.
Zeus and I are huge champions of the Hot in the Shade album. Huge champions.
Yeah,
so I'll have to consider that one for the next cruise. To perform.
Yes.
You Love Me to Hate You is, believe me, it is a fan favorite of a lot of people that follow our podcast. They know how much we love it. It's awesome.
Yeah, and Todd can sing it. It's pretty high.
No, he can sing it. Yeah.
All right. Well, since Zeus started the trend of the our trifecta from Hot in the Shade, I'm going to continue with that, and I'm going to take Silver Spoon.
Wow.
Another great. Just another great chorus and another great melody. That album, I know some people, a lot of, especially our fans and some of our close friends, they're very passionate on both sides of that album. Some people say, it's got 15 songs, whatever. Other people say, production, whatever. I love it. I think it came out at the right time for KISS. And I just a huge fan of it. I also have a special place for it because it was the first tour, the first time I saw KISS in 1990 on that tour. So anything off that album, I'm a fan of.
All right. Well, now I'm getting my next year's cruise, medleys together right now.
Nice. There you go.
I'm already booked on the cruise. I'm still trying to convince Tom. The fact that both of you guys are on the cruise, I'm pumped.
I know. Now I'm getting pressured here because everybody on this podcast right now is on the cruise except for me. So maybe I'll have to. Chris, what do you got? Number 4.
I'll take your third one. I know it's going to be King of Hearts. Put that on your list, Bruce. King of Hearts. I think King of Hearts is my favorite song on Hot in the Shade. I mean, Forever obviously is the hit, but King of Hearts is the one to me. It's just the melody, the chording on that, the chorus. It's just great. Paul's vocal.
There you go. That's the medley. Those 3.
That's it, man.
In honor of Shout It Out Loud.
Perfect.
That would be fucking kill.
So Bruce, we're back to you with 2 picks in a row.
All right. So I'm going to go a little wild and go to Jungle.
Nice.
Yes.
My picks.
Carnival of Souls. Yes.
Carnival of Souls.
Love it.
And then I'm going to skirt back to my early days and put in King of the Mountain.
Ooh, nice.
Oh, that's a fan favorite. Wow. Okay.
And it's a scary song on lead guitar, but yeah.
No kidding. It's great vocals too.
Yeah, I was petrified when we were going to open a set with that song on the cruise. Oh my God. It's hard. But it's
you commented song. That you commented that you were a little intimidated by having to play that live. So I thought that was interesting. It's a killer opener, but yeah.
Well, this riffs there that it was so important in it, especially on that Asylum record for guitar playing was everyone had adopted the Eddie Van Halen thing, and it wasn't more like the A style. And those techniques I was absorbing, but I didn't always excel in them. But I know I did well with it, but I did a little too well for my current age.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, Chris freaks me out. Chris, let's talk about wrestling when you're 66, okay? I'd like
All right, Chris, back to you now.
I'll stay with Bruce on Asylum and say Who Wants to Be Lonely.
All right.
Oh, nice.
Which I can't believe was never a single. Obviously you guys did a video for it. I think you might have gotten doused in water in that one too. But
yeah, there was a big water theme going on for me.
But what a great tune, man! It's just such an awesome chorus, and obviously it's a Paul and Desmond tune. Just classic heavy hooky chorus.
Nice. All right. So for me, Zeus and I on this show a lot, we give a lot of credit to what we consider a lot of unsung songs from this era. A lot of them weren't singles or hits or anything like that. But if you take the time to listen to them, I think Gene has a lot of really, really good songs from this era. And one of them is off of Crazy Nights. And that is Hell or High Water.
Right.
Wow.
Big fan of that. I like when Gene sings in that kind of register, and then I think it's got a nice chorus, and then it kind of brings itself back into the verses. Just big fan of that song. Always have been since I first listened to Crazy Nights. So
I gave him that title, and I had most of the music. He heard where the Hell or High Water went differently.
Yep.
You know what I mean, Chris, where the chords are, but I heard it straight on AC/DC. Come Hell or High. Gong, 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 gong.
Yep.
And he did adjust, but at first he was singing it in a different place. I was like, no, that's not it. But he did all the other words and melody and everything. But I just had that.
Nice.
And I knew it was something that would work for us. And thankfully, Nevison liked that song, so it wound up on the record, of course.
Excellent. Nice.
Right.
Right,
Zeus, back to you. Two picks in a row, Zeus.
Seems like we're going on a Gene run.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take some deep Gene cuts here.
Do it.
My favorite, and almost I think it was my second pick when we did Asylum.
Yep.
And that's Secretly Cruel.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
I love that song. That's such a great Gene deep cut.
Yes.
The chorus, the back and forth at the end of the song.
Yep.
Oh, it's fantastic. It's so catchy. And it's just a little bit different. Gene's that register, you're right. He's not doing the demon growl.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
So it works. And then the other one that I was gonna go with Gene, and that is Good Girl Gone Bad.
Yes, Crazy Nights.
Love that deep groove on that.
Yep, I don't me too.
Cool.
I'm not sure if that was Gene but somebody came up with that, and it's in the vocals again. That register, it's a little different. The guitar work on that is kick ass too, Bruce.
Cool, thank you.
Yeah, you don't hear
that one.
Yeah, you don't hear Gene singing like that a lot. But that's a good one. All right, so back to me. I'm gonna give some more love to Carnival of Souls, which I am on record as saying I love that album. Another polarizing album amongst KISS fans. But you had Gene with a killer opener on Revenge with Unholy, and then you have Carnival of Souls with an insane opener with Hate, and that's what I'm going there. The way that song opens. And then that riff when it kicks in, I love heavy, aggressive KISS. That's why I love those two albums. And it just sounds great, Bruce.
So the intro, I'm literally, first of all, I have a real high gain amp. I had a crazy pedal, and I knew that if I wasn't plugged in, that's what it would sound like. If my instrument cable was just out there.
Yeah.
And then you hear me touching, getting close to plugging in. So then that's when it sounds like, someone trying to communicate from another planet or something.
Yes.
And then finally it goes in. And then let's see if anybody ever figured out. I'll give away another KISS inside trade secret here. So you hear kind of Paul saying something.
Yes.
But it's actually backwards. Anyone know what it is?
Okay.
No.
Okay. Yeah. I mean,
wear a mask.
What was that?
Wear a mask.
No, yeah, you're right. KISS 2020 goodbye is what
.com.
So it's backwards because it was a little bit funny. I mean, we were just having a little fun, even though it was a band that we all admired, Smashing Pumpkins. He's saying Little Billy Corgan.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Really?
Now, when I grew up, I could, Zappa used to do a lot of backward stuff, and I was a little into his stuff and his mania, shall I call it.
Yeah.
Frank Zappa was not only a tremendous musician and crazy songwriter, singer, but he did everything just experimental and nuts.
Yep.
But it wasn't that hard to figure out on a tape recorder. If you taped it, you could hear things backwards, and I used to do that because there were whole sections that were backwards on some of the early Zappa records that I got into. So it wasn't, hard, but yeah, it's backwards. Yeah. Now, I'm not sure how you can do that unless you have a 4-track tape recorder and you take it and then you flip it over and then that should be something I could do over the holidays. Yeah.
There you go. What better way to spend Christmas than work on your backwards recordings?
I have the technology. I do.
Yes.
So, all right.
That's awesome.
I'm giving away great stuff here. Okay.
I love it. Chris, number 6 for you, buddy.
I was going to take Hate, but only to try and be a little bit more diverse. And since you took it, I'm going to go back to the songs that I really, really love. And I'm going to take I'll Fight Hell to Hold You.
Oh, that was on my list, dude.
Yeah, man, that's another just great solo, awesome lyrics, just an awesome tune for sure.
The big problem, I got to be honest with you here. The big problem I have with this song, I can't get into the range that Paul is singing in that song.
Oh,
it's too much. I know you love it, Chris, and that's
so high. Yeah.
Yeah. It's to me, it's too high. It's too much. It's too much. Musically, the song rips, but his vocals are just a little bit, it almost sounds like, it's like he's trying to do it sounds like, All Systems Go, Vinnie Vincent Invasion, which I love. Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Tom, the problem with that song is the song. It's terrible.
And then you don't have to take it.
Yeah.
You don't have to take it.
I mean, I love most of that album, but good God. I know we always get into this argument, Chris. I know what your next pick is going to be too.
Maybe.
I had a co-write.
Oh, I know.
Alpha at Hell, so I'm gonna see you after
See,
class.
Zeus, I told you.
Hey, me and Bruce will see you and Tom after class, buddy.
Yeah. I got you involved now, Tom. Thanks, huh?
Behind Chris, though. By the way, who picked the Turn on the Night? Who chose that one?
I did.
Chris.
Okay,
I chose it.
Okay, sorry, because I'm keeping good notes, so I could firebomb whoever I don't like. Okay,
there you go.
I guess that's me. I'll try not to be as honest.
Yes, Bruce. Back to you. Back to you. You got 2 picks back to back, Bruce.
Right, and I'm just okay. Good. I thought I saw it here, but it's not there. I wasn't sure. So no one chose All Night yet?
No, that's yours.
That's number 24 then.
Okay. Beautiful. All right.
Tell us about that video, please.
Oh,
what
God.
About it?
Just tell us something about that video.
Give us something about that video.
It was something to do with like a Bigsby Berkeley thing or something like that. Weird. I didn't really understand it. I'm not sure what all the beds were. Maybe it looked like an asylum, like a dream, that we were all in a sane asylum, and the sexy girls are pushing around the beds, and they all had those rails on the thing.
Yeah.
It was odd, but I didn't mind. I was around a lot of beautiful women in London. It was okay.
Absolutely.
Edit her out.
Yes. Exactly.
Well, that's exposed. Come on. All right, so I get one more.
It was a big keyhole. For some reason, you guys kept peeking in it.
Because you guys are looking at the chicks.
You realize that there's times like Lisa was saying something to me, and we're so deep into the KISS thing every day. There's something about KISS, of course. And she goes, "You just gave me that face from the keyhole. That's the keyhole face." Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I did? Yes, it was exactly the keyhole face. I'm like, wow.
The keyhole face. That is awesome.
What can I say? I mean,
wow.
I have to embrace my my legendary silly faces.
Absolutely.
How about the people coming up to me and going like, "Bruce, big fan. Edit her out."
Yeah.
Like it can't be "beam me up" or
that's right. Nope, you got to edit her
Make
out.
it so, Captain. Edit her out. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, all right. I got to choose number 2. Okay.
Yes.
So, let me make sure I'm going through here. Okay, hold on a second, because many of my lovely picks were chosen, but I got one. I know I got one. Hold on a second. My papers are all over the place.
Take your time.
I'm going to go soft here because I didn't pick any ballads yet. Every Time I Look at You.
Oh, that was almost going to be our wedding song, except there was a couple lines of lyrics in there that kind of didn't quite exactly fit.
It's not as much of a love song as you think.
Exactly.
I never listened that intensely to lyrics. I got to be honest. And Lisa, we were working on it, and then because she's performed it with me for things that we've shared, and then she started telling me that it's actually a little bit. There's some sadness in there, and it's a little odd,
Yeah, well, when he gets
to the love song, like forever, okay?
Right? Because when he gets to that part where he says it's going to take a little time to show you just what you mean to me, I'm like, I don't know if that's a good wedding song. Right. So like,
and again, I wasn't privy to the songwriting with the lyric part of it, and everything, but and I played bass on that track. That's my little.
Wow! Oh wow! Yep. Awesome! Very cool. All right.
Forever also. Paul always liked my bass playing for the ballads because. This way Gene doesn't stomp on it. But Gene could play the stuff live well. I mean, again, I always, whatever I did on bass, I was imagining, all right, Paul McCartney meets Gene, but not as aggressive as Gene.
Yes.
Yeah. Reel it back a minute. That's all.
Nice.
A little bit. Okay.
Chris.
Cool. Speaking of Gene, I'm going to take the aforementioned Domino.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
great tune.
On my list
yep.
There.
Yeah, great tune, great riff, and just the video. Once again, talking about the rivalry between Bruce and between Paul and Gene. I'm sure that Paul not only was thrilled with the fact that he chose Gene's song to be the second song, but also in the video, Paul's almost like a minor player, and I believe they almost even have him playing. You guys had him playing bass.
Yeah, and he was playing bass. I mean, Gene's driving through most of it. So Paul, you don't have to play guitar, play the bass. Whatever. So I know that was very odd. The whole thing was odd.
Great tune.
I always see him like in the car or getting gas or something, or going into a gas station.
Drinking a shake.
Drinking his Slurpee or whatever.
Then again, one of your videos, Chris, you're driving around in your car.
That was a direct homage to Gene and Domino for sure.
Yep.
Love it.
All right, so I'm gonna stick with Gene here. I'm gonna go back to Asylum, and I love the groove of the song, especially the gang vocals with the chorus, and that is Any Way You Slice It.
Nice.
Always a big fan. You know, as you can see, you know, I already said it once. Zeus and I have a big love for some of these '80s Gene tracks,
Yep.
and that's a nice upbeat rocker, and I love the call and answer chorus there too. It's really cool tune for me.
And a footnote for that was we tried it once on the first show or something like that, and then never again. You know what I mean?
Now I know a lot of bands do that. Was it you guys weren't happy with your performance, or was it fan feedback, or what?
You know, those guys were always really hypersensitive about reaction, and sometimes the record's not even out long enough for someone to know what to hear. Yeah. So, and then if they felt like, no, we're not feeling it, you know, right or wrong, it was pretty easy to give an axe to something, especially when you're from a band that has that catalog, even from when I joined, you know. So that's what happened. You know?
Nice. All right, Zeus, back to you. Double pick.
All right. Geez. All right. I'm going to give a tip my hat to our two guests here. Because they both performed excellent on this. And that's no.
No, I didn't play on that one, though.
Yeah, Bruce didn't play. That was Joe McInnes.
Yeah. I was just
the original.
Oh.
The original track you played on, right?
I played on that one.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm saying both of you guys performed.
We're both thinking quarantine. Yeah, of course Bruce played on it.
Say Heart of Chrome, and I'm like, wait a minute, you know.
I'm thinking, what did they pull Rick Derringer out for that one too? Like, what the fuck? You didn't play on that? And I'm like, all these years I've been saying, listen to Bruce rip this one up.
That was that was Dick Wagner on the solo.
Good choice, though.
Here's our fucking flashy, kick-ass new guitarist. By the way, Rick Derringer's playing the opening track.
Exactly. Yeah.
Jesus. But Bruce, what was that? How did that come about? Like that opening riff, which I just fucking love.
I'm not sure. I know that both Eric Carr and myself were totally into the Van Halen thing, and I knew it was going to be this double bass drum thing, and that's Van Halen had quite a few songs, like
Hot for Teacher,
for in particular, going crazy. But then all of a sudden, with the low stuff, which I ripped off into my Asylum solo, of course, you know. But I guess that we realized we were going to do this kind of like homage to Van Halen. So I picked a higher octave and did it there, and it became, you know, it made sense. And then we kicked into the song. The funniest thing was reading. It wasn't really a very fancy rock review, you know, the kind of a review you'd find in a rock magazine. It was actually from like a Stereo Review or something, and they reviewed Crazy Nights. Wow. And then when they were mentioning No, they said the creative keyboard synthesizer intro. Wow! I wanted to just like explode when I read that. I'm like, wow! There's a little bit of a chorus effect on it, but come on.
Yeah.
How can hammer-ons? God. Even Jan Hammer can't play it like that.
Yeah.
Wow. That's awesome.
But that's the abuse I get from KISS, you know.
Seriously, imagine thinking that was a keyboard. Unbelievable.
Well,
wow.
They did.
Wow.
Whatever.
Zeus, back to you, buddy.
All right. So, shit. This is where it's starting to get tough. I will say, I'll go on a limb because I think if I take a song from this album, this is one of the songs you guys would take. So before you take it, let me grab it now. And that is Master and Slave. This song has grown on me. I used to complain about this album. Yep. Tom has convinced me of the brilliance of Carnival of Soul. Yes. He has convinced me. And it's one of those things that people, it's their grunge album. It's not their grunge album.
No.
It may be grunge era, and KISS performed a little bit like that. But I don't give a shit what KISS does. When they do it, it's still KISS. Yep. And KISS does a great version of it. So whether they're trying to do Bon Jovi-like songs, it's still KISS doing it, and it's still excellent. Same thing with this. Is this Alice in Chains? No. It's KISS in that era, and they do a fucking great job with it. Yeah. And I think that's a good song.
We set out to do a heavier album than Revenge, you know, and certainly, and especially with Toby there. But we had the material. It wasn't that he helped shape it, but I remember it was a little bit hard for Paul to totally get into it at first, and then he started to really embrace it, and that's his guitar riff. That song was really based on, you know, you know, and I was really happy about it. And I came up with a couple other little parts with it. I think it's just the bridge, but the rest was all Paul. And it really, you know, I like the way you said that, Zeus. You know, that's what it felt like. Yeah. Even though you want to call it a grunge thing, but it's still KISS to me doing a record. So good track.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. All right, back to me for number 8. Okay, I'm picking this for 2 reasons. One, because I legitimately like the song. It's got a great video. And because I want to hear Jericho sing the part of the song that we love to hear him sing, and that is Rise to It. So, Chris, you got to give it to us, and you got to do it for Bruce too.
I can't just do that on cue. You know what I mean? I gotta be in the mood for it or whatever, right?
Well, that's all right. I got it on my phone somewhere. Maybe I'll just play it later.
If you're not in the,
I'll insert it later.
Yeah, exactly. Edit it in, because if you're not in the mood now, Bruce, then when would you ever be in the mood?
Edit it in there. Edit her in.
Yeah, edit her in. Yes. All right.
Chris does an awesome job on it. You guys will tell.
Just that one line. Yeah. I can't. I got to be in the groove for that.
All right, Chris. Well, so back to you for Chris, number 8. For you.
So I will say that had you guys not taken Hate, Master and Slave, and Jungle, I would have taken any one of those 3 songs from Carnival of Souls. But since you took them all, I'm going to move back to. I'm going to go, when you talk about high vocals, and there's a great YouTube clip of
here it comes.
Of Paul singing this vocal solo. It's just his vocal, the track, just his vocal track. And it's so high, and it's My Way. That song is insanely high. Great solo. Love that one.
See, Chris, I'm with you on that. I like My Way. It's not as high as I'll Fight Hell to Hold You, but I don't know. That song takes a beat. I can see Zeus right now.
I'm not saying shit. He's going to shove me in a locker if I say one more thing about these 2 songs.
Listen, you can say it to me, but Bruce is here. He's standing right there. You can't.
Bruce has done so much great music. He's not going to get offended.
Yeah, you know, I'll be honest. I remember when we cut it, and I always thought like, you know, it was a bit operatic, kind of like almost like a show type of
show.
When we adapted it and when I rehearsed it with Brent, Zach, and Todd, and then did it on the cruise, it felt right. It felt really like a rock thing. So some of that's that production with the keyboards being a little heavy.
Yes,
totally.
It could have been looked at a little more. And I think, I mean, again, I'm not positive, but you know, Paul might have sang it a half step up from where it should be. You know what I mean? So that makes it even more show tune.
Oh yeah.
And also too, I mean, once again, you talk about the Eddie Van Halen influence of guitars in the 80s. High singing was also just as much as part of the 80s. So I bet you Paul at his vocal peak was like, I want to show you guys just how high I can go.
Good point. Yep.
Yeah. You know? You're right.
Oh, all right, Bruce, we're back to you with back-to-back picks, 8 and 9 for you.
All right. Okay. So I'm going to go a little wild here. Hold on a second. Not too wild. Let me just make sure. I want to make sure I got all my check marks. Okay, so I'm going to switch into. Here's one from Hot in the Shade that I really loved, and I have to pick an Eric Carr song because I love him and missed him, and I know how much that song meant to him. So Little Caesar.
Nice.
Yep.
I legitimately love that song.
Yeah,
I think that's great. I think the lyrics are fantastic. I think he kicks ass on it.
He's got a great voice.
I'll give you my little background on that. I didn't mention it in my behind the song, video, but I found after I even did that another version that's slower, even slower.
Wow.
Okay, so it's like dun 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 dun, and all the rest da dun da dun. It was really, and then I realized everything about it was Aerosmith.
Yeah. Okay.
I was
right. Yeah.
Very riffs. It was more obvious, slower. Okay.
Yeah.
But there's that. It just has an Aerosmith thing. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's what we were channeling, and that's kind of interesting, and that's why technically I think Eric's playing bass. I'm on guitar, and he's playing drums. I don't even think Paul or Gene are on that track, except vocally.
Wow. Interesting.
Which makes that interesting. Okay.
Wow. Very interesting.
And it got revisited. I have all these versions with different words. Originally, you had that ain't that peculiar.
Yep.
And then there was another lyric that I showed in that video that I found. But Adam Mitchell came in and helped write it with Gene and Eric, because we did want to make it like, all right, if we're going to call it Little Caesar, let's make him a character, but he's got to represent something that's relatable to the KISS world, So
nice.
That's a great point. That song does have a very Last Child vibe to it. That's the one.
You probably didn't think of that before I brought it up, but if you listen to these slow,
you're right.
You'd hear it.
You're totally right.
Nothing wrong with that. We're all influenced in some
of course.
Yep.
Right.
Nice.
All right.
And it's Aerosmith, so it's a good band.
Yep.
Awesome stuff. Here's there's a few I'd love to do, but is this coming back to me at all? Do we know?
Yes, you got 2 picks left.
You pick one now, and then it's going to come around, and you're going to end the draft.
One more. Okay.
Yep.
So what I'll do is I'm going to go a little wild and pick something from Revenge, a little left corner, but this is a great Gene song, Spit.
Oh, yes. Oh, love it. Love it.
What's the line, Tom?
What? Oh, most definitely.
and what song do I hint in that one?
Oh, boy.
Star Spangled Banner.
Yes. And that was before we incorporated it into the show. Okay?
Yep.
And it's funny, technically, as soon as they started putting together that show with the Statue of Liberty thing, then I thought about it would be cool. I loved Hendrix, and I was already ripping off Hendrix with different things, bringing things that I was influenced by Hendrix into KISS, like other of my heroes too, that I would borrow from. But I just thought it would work in the show, and then that bombastic. That's another one with the 2 guitars doing the harmony.
Yeah.
It's very much like the Won't Get Fooled Again thing. So that was funny sticking it in there. I love that. Of course, I didn't complete it. I always get like wild after doing whatever.
Yeah.
Just like the other Thou Shalt Not one. Okay. Nice. That's mine too.
Okay, good. So we're back to Chris, number 9.
Baby! I am going to go with something completely off the beaten path since you guys took Hate and Master and Slave and Jungle. So I'm going to go back to Asylum and take a song that I really have gotten into over the last little bit, and that's Love's a Deadly Weapon.
Oh, boy.
Yes.
That is a hard song. That's super crazy.
That's grown on me since we did the Asylum. Yeah, it's actually over the years I've started to really like it, where it's become.
Me too.
It used to be like, oh, skip this. I was
the same that I felt about No, Love's a Deadly Weapon. I didn't really rate them, and then you really listen to them. They're very intricate, lots of different parts, almost proggy at times, but also very fast. But they have some great stuff on that.
Yep.
Yeah, that riff I've gotten, that.
Is that one of your tunes, Bruce?
I love that.
No, I didn't write anything on that one. Gene did it probably with someone. I'm not sure who.
Gotcha.
It's very guitar driven.
Yeah.
I was able to own it, if you know what I mean.
Absolutely, sure did.
Yeah, that's a wild riff. All right, speaking of kind of going off the beaten path, I'm going to go back to Carnival of Souls. And man, my list is kind of Gene heavy, but that's I'm a Gene guy.
That's what happens.
Yeah,
you'd be surprised.
Yeah. Again, I've said it before. I love Carnival of Souls, and I like this song because I love the chorus and then how it kind of slows back down a little bit. And that's I Confess.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like that song too.
Yeah. Just a big fan of everything that's going on with that album. And that's a song that stands out for me. So yeah, I Confess, number 9 for me off of Carnival of Souls. So Zeus, these are your last 2 picks, my friend.
Shit.
Yep.
All right. Last 2 picks. I'm going to stay away from Carnival. I do like Paralyzed. I do like that a lot.
Me too.
Tough Love sounds too much like Heart of Chrome, in my opinion. I don't know why.
It's got a good riff, but
yeah, I do love all those songs that Hunt in the Shade. All right. Jeez, you know what? I just noticed, but I'm not going to pick it. I'll leave it for you guys. No one took the title track, Crazy Nights.
Not yet.
Right.
Yeah. I'm going to take another Gene song. and that's the closer on Crazy Nights. I like Thief in the Night.
Wow.
Good one. Yep.
Okay, this is where I tell you that you're stupid. That's terrible.
Oh no, that's a good song.
I love that song.
I'll fight hell to hold you is a million times better than people.
Oh my God, that's a bad take.
No, it's a good take, and it's the only take that matters.
So did you? I love when Chris goes all wrestling tough.
It's in character.
Exactly.
I got to be honest. That what was funny on that one, and I think I knew that it was a song that Gene, I think Wendy O. Williams or somebody else did that song.
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah.
Song.
Yes.
And we cut it. Nevison approves it. It goes on Crazy Nights, right? And then when Paul found out that it was something done before by someone, he was not happy about that. That's what I mean, maybe that's why Hide Your Heart got covered. You know what I mean? That was Gene telling him, why did you give that away? We need to do that.
Right.
I think that's if you think about it chronologically, I laid out a good case for that, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
That was in Greg Prado's book. I think where he talked about it, that song.
Take it off book.
And that Paul was upset that he found out that it was on somewhere else.
Yep.
All right, so I got one song left.
Yes, you do.
And let's see what Chris won't make fun of me about. There's 3 songs left on Asylum, 3 on Crazy Nights. There's also You Make Me Rock Hard.
Yeah.
Which is just, I said that out loud.
Let me say this from when I had Desmond Child on Talk is Jericho. He said that the only song he ever wrote with Paul that he didn't like was You Make Me Rock Hard. And he said that him, and I think it was Diane Warren, threw that song title at Paul as a joke. And Paul liked it. And they're like, no, it's a joke. And he's like, no, you probably know that story, Bruce.
No, I don't. I love it.
Oh, yeah. But Paul was like, I love it. Let's do it. And Desmond's like, no, it's a joke.
It's a joke. So what are you going to take?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Come on.
All right. I'm going to take the song that you constantly shit on me, Tom, that I like this song a lot.
Here we go.
I think it's very autobiographical for Gene. I fucking love it. I don't know. Cadillac Dreams. I love it.
Oh, woo. That's a stinker.
Yeah.
Yes.
No way you're going to win this poll.
Cadillac Dreams. I love good song.
Any song that has any song that has a chorus where he just says money, money, that's what I want. I just can't get into it. I'm sorry. I love Gene. My whole rank.
Being honest.
All right. Well,
it's horrible. I actually walked up to Gene in the studio and I said,
no, it was horrible.
I was comfortable enough with him already to say, like, I didn't say it was horrible. I just said, Gene, I just got to be honest. I really don't like that song. Okay. You know what I mean? Like I had any say in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I remember talking about this on an interview. And there's this fan that I give guitar lessons to. He's a talented kid in Ireland. I love that with KISS, when you're part of the KISS world.
Oh, yeah.
International. So you got friends all around the world, probably on other planets, are enjoying KISS. And the guy, like, it was like one of his favorite songs. So he's with you, right? So
yeah.
He actually does a video, he just to screw with me, performing Cadillac Dreams. And he posted. He probably got like 50 views. Anyway,
I'm going to find it now, Bruce. I'm going to look for it.
Yeah. Glenn Walker is the guy's name.
Oh, write that down, Zeus.
Glenn Walker. Glenn, you're going to have another view. You'll see.
It's on YouTube. It's got to be there.
Oh, that's
how
great.
Many thumbs up it has. Okay.
That's great. All right. So my last pick, I'm going to stick with Revenge because it's my favorite album from this era with Bruce's work on it. And any song that can open up with a mini guitar solo, I'm always going to love it, especially when it's Bruce, and that is Paralyzed.
Mm-hmm. Good one.
Love that song. Love that song. I love the song in general, but any song that starts with a solo I just love it. It's great.
Cool.
Chorus is fantastic on that.
It really is. Yes, agreed. Great work by Bruce on that. Great work by Bruce on all of this, but that one is a standout for me.
You got that right.
So, Chris, your last pick.
Isn't that what Gene says on Paralyzed at the end? You got that right.
Oh, yes, that's it. You got that right. You get all those little one-liners off of Revenge.
I'm going to go with a song that I can't believe no one chose because it's awesome, and it's a single. It could have been a much bigger hit once again had they had radio, and that's Reason to Live.
Oh yeah, wow, that's still there. Okay.
Nobody chose that. That's just a killer tune, a little bit Heart-esque, but once again, that's kind of what was going on at the time, right? So a classic tune whenever you hear it. Nice solo. Bruce used to play the keyboards on it live.
That's actually a great description, Chris, is calling it very Heart-like. Because you're right. That's kind of the stuff that Heart was doing in that around that time.
Who was the producer?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, true.
Ron Nevis had just done Bad Animals.
It's a good song.
It is a good song.
It's catchy. It's good.
Yeah.
Bruce, I mean, it was meant to be like a big ballad, like a foreigner hit, if you know what I mean.
Exactly.
But I really think Paul's emotion in it is fantastic. You know,
great singing. Yeah, absolutely.
We got to go back a second to Paralyze before we move on. You're gonna love this.
Oh boy!
Don't repeat it. So we know that's Paralyze, right?
Yep.
Right.
Uh-oh.
All right, here comes the chorus, right? Well, he's not singing here, but I'm waiting for the next section. It's coming up.
Okay.
It's hard to cue on the phone, but I don't want
we can hear it.
Wine, you know, baby. Right now, I'll show you my good kind of just that. But this ain't no patty whack. Built to the hilt. Hey, baby, you're on.
Zeus is shitting right there. I see it.
Quit laughing, Tom. I can't hear it.
Just do it right. Ain't gonna hide lies or fake alibis, because I'm gonna tell it to you straight, girl. You got me paralyzed.
No shit. They had a rap section in there.
Sorry.
That's actually pretty cool, man.
Throwing in his mouth.
Who did that?
Gene wanted to hear a rapper, and that's
oh my god!
And I was like, "Are you out of your mind?" Now Ezra's producing the record, so there's a professor, you know, in charge, you know,
right?
And he entertained it, and that was a real. I don't remember what his name was or anything, and that was a rap.
You know what, though? I'll tell you what. And knowing how KISS, once again, they always incorporated what was going on at the time, whether it was disco and I Was Made for Loving You, whether it was the grunge in Carnival of Souls or the heaviness of Pantera on Revenge. That actually doesn't bother me. They use a little bit of a rap element. Yep. It's very, very Gene. Like, let's give it a try. Like, it's actually pretty cool, man.
And think about it in that era too. Remember. Chris, I know you're a Rush fan. You remember Roll the Bones?
Oh, dude, I love Roll the Bones. Absolutely.
And they had.
I'll tell you what. If you guys would have grown up with that song, with that rap, you wouldn't even think twice about it. If you would have heard that the first time, you'd be going, "That's really cool."
Exactly.
So think about that evolution. So we tried that. It was kind of really alien. I wasn't for it, even though. Look, the guy did a fine job, and I don't know who wrote the lyrics, if the rapper did or Gene did. You know what I mean? But it was a big thing, and rock, and look, with Aerosmith working with Run DMC and all that, it made sense to a certain point. But then think about once they made the decision, and I don't remember how it was done, to not include it. Right? Well, what do? First of all, Eric Singer's beat is just such a great groove.
Awesome. Totally.
Boom. It's just a very unusual beat too. To play that, I loved it when Brent did it, and we fooled around a little bit with that. But the you notice on the record you hear Gene in multiple voices. I guess a mumbling Gene
you ain't
stereo
so bad.
is the equivalent to a rapper. You know what I mean? I don't know. It was just, and then years later when Gene was kind enough to collaborate with me on that song "Ain't Gonna Die" on BK3.
Right?
Oh yeah. Eventually, there was a guy I knew in the Netherlands, very talented guy. He lives here in America now, and he does remixes for people like Lady Gaga stuff, all these major stars. So he loved KISS and everything. So he took the files. I gave him all the stems, all the tracks, and then he wound up putting. He did a few different versions to turn it into a dance thing with. Just the way they do those remixes, collages of things, and then put the beat a little faster and everything. But he also did one that I never released, and it was with this rapper named Substantial, and he's singing on it.
Wow.
He's doing rap. I'm never gonna die. And I played it. I sent it to Gene, and what do you think the reaction was from Gene? I love that.
Let's do it.
Yeah, and I've been too afraid to ever put it out because I just don't know what the fans would think of that.
That was really cool.
You know, down the line, maybe a bonus track type of thing I could figure out.
Thank you for sharing that with us. That was awesome.
That was incredible.
Absolutely.
Bruce, it's funny you say that because I think it was a couple episodes back. We were talking about what would happen if the reunion didn't happen. Where would KISS be going with the four of you guys? Right. And I was like, KISS would be doing some sort of a Limp Bizkit rap type metal song. Tom was like, you got to be kidding me. And then now, Tom, hearing that,
okay.
Do you see what I'm talking about? Yeah, they would have forayed into that a little bit, maybe. But that's awesome. Thank you so much for that.
Oh, you're welcome.
I stand corrected. All right, so we got some not too much time left here. So
I got
Bruce,
one more.
Bruce, you're gonna take us out.
This is hard. I mean, I'm looking at my list and everything, and there's a couple. I just wanted to pick something dear to me. All right, screw it. I know one of you guys threw it under the bus, but you're wrong. I'm going to go with Tough Love.
Oh, no, I didn't.
I love that song.
We didn't throw it under the bus.
That was me. I'm the one who
Zeus did. He threw it under the bus.
Yep.
I think it sounds like Heart of Chrome.
Yeah, I think it's a good song. I think it's just kind of like a minor league Heart of Chrome.
Why don't we listen to what Bruce has to say since he chose it?
Hey, shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. This is our show.
I love the Peanut Gallery, but I'm getting out of here soon. Okay, here's how it went. First of all, with the Ezrin produced record, it was tough to get the co-writes. I mean, they even brought back Vinnie Vincent because he was playing nice, and Vinnie's a talented writer. I'll always give him that credit, of course. So there he is, writing with Gene, working with Paul again, and they do that because they're smart. They don't even have to like him. They just know he wrote some great songs with us. Okay, and I think it was on purpose that they didn't go to a Desmond and people like that for revenge. Okay, so I'm struggling. I'm throwing riffs at these guys. Nothing's clicking, and then fortunately, Ezrin especially, when I had that opportunity at Paul's house with Ezrin there. And I'm showing them that thing, and all of a sudden it's like, okay, got it. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's do this. Now I'd ever heard, Heart of Chrome, that was being worked on with other people, but Ezrin jumped in, and Paul came up with a great the chorus thing to me, and the funny part was I was so happy. I had to change the key a few times. That was very stressful because if it wasn't in the right key, then Paul wouldn't be able to sing it, and then it wouldn't want out the record.
Right.
Co-write, and I lose that credit, that money, that feeling connected to it, feeling like you want that.
Yeah.
But Larry Mazer, who was the manager at the time and doing a great job for us, trying to open their minds to different things, because it's important. When famous artists do things, the blinders are on, and that's all they know. And sometimes you got to have someone come in and just throw different things at you. And he loved that song. He wanted it to be the first single, and I was like, "That wow, great, thank you." I'm not a single. Hey, it's track 3, which is a sweet spot.
Yeah,
track 3. So anyway, I was just really happy to have it on there, and I was glad to be represented on the Revenge record, even though it was with a co-write.
Yeah,
but it was very competitive. It was really hard for me on that particular album. But I love that record, and it's always about. For me, it was never about all right, how many, it's about how great a record is, how fine is the playing. And I love what I played in Tough Love. The guitar parts are great. And the Heart of Chrome is one that just I love jamming to that one. I use it in clinics and stuff. And I've done it, with the pandemic, the isolated riffs. It's a great track, and I'm proud of that one.
You should be.
And we cover this really well, I thought.
Yeah, and it's funny because Revenge, every single song off of Revenge has been drafted with the exception of the instrumental.
Wow.
So that's the only it's the only album where every song was taken. So I think that speaks volumes. That makes me that makes me happy because it's my favorite album from this era
I was
with Bruce.
To doing Car Jam, but I felt like Little Caesar was more of an era.
Yeah,
sure.
More of a song, absolutely.
Yeah.
Awesome. So that went better than I think we could have imagined. I know the time is short for Chris. So before
I got to go.
Yeah. So before we let you guys go, we can't thank you enough. This has been amazing. I hope you guys had a blast.
Do we list our 10 overall?
Sure. Yep.
Bruce,
go ahead.
You got yours? I got Bruce's too. I'll just go into it. So I got Who Wants to Be Lonely, Love's a Deadly Weapon, I'll Fight Hell to Hold You, My Way, Reason to Live, Turn on the Night, King of Hearts, Unholy, Domino, and Heart of Chrome.
Nice.
All right, so you want to hear mine?
Sure.
Yeah, what you got?
All right, so Tears Are Falling. I got I Walk Alone. God Gave. I got Jungle, King of the Mountain, All Night, Every Time I Look at You, Little Caesar, Spit, and Tough Love.
Nice. And
Did
then
I miss anything?
nope. And then I got I Just Wanna, Hide Your Heart, Thou Silver
Don't
Spoon,
go anywhere. I'll be right back. Keep
sure. Hell or High Water, Hate, Any Way You Slice It, Rise to It, I Confess, and Paralyze. Very gene heavy, but that's okay. Zeus, what do you got, buddy?
I got a mixture of both of them. I think 5-5. Forever. Let's put the X in sex. Take it off. You Love Me to Hate You. Secretly Cruel. Good Girl Gone Bad. No, No, No. Master and Slave. Thief in the Night. And everybody's favorite, Cadillac Dreams.
Wow. Nice.
Shit. I didn't expect Bruce to shit on it either. Holy Christ.
I love that. He pretty much just said it was horrible, but that's what
I can't wait till the Kiss Crew, Zeus. If that's the next time we see you, me and Bruce get a chance to take you out back and flog you.
I know. Jesus Christ. Well, hopefully this shit goes away and everybody wears our masks so Paul doesn't fly around on his bike shitting on everybody and telling everybody to stop, wearing the mask.
What Bruce didn't tell you was that the background message at the beginning of Hate was Little Billy Corgan and then followed by Gelato.
Gelato, what?
Never mind, Bruce. You don't want to be part of it.
No, I don't want to hear that. No.
Yeah. Guys, we can't thank you guys enough. Our 100th episode, and we have Bruce and Chris. What a combo.
It's been amazing.
Thank you so much. And it means so much to us as fans to meet you both and you guys to be as cool as possible. And I can't be that nice to Chris because, I just...
Well, you know what the one cool thing about the pandemic is? I've seen Bruce more than I probably would have if there was no pandemic.
Yeah,
I think it's the third or fourth time we've had a chance to talk, so it's very cool.
Yeah,
that's the thing we tell you guys all the time. You two have entertained us as KISS fans and everything else more than anybody. You guys have come up with new and creative things more than anyone during this pandemic. Chris, with all the things that you do and the different projects you started, never mind your AEW shit's on fire right now.
Yeah.
Bruce, the videos, the stuff you do with Lisa, respecting the fans by giving them stuff, little nuggets. It's just awesome. It's perfect.
Yep.
We can't thank you enough.
Well, thanks. I mean, look, the whole, first of all, your support of my era means a lot to me. So thank you all, and I know Chris has always waved the flag, which always meant a lot. And it does seem like because everything's not normal, everything's not typical, everything has not gone as planned this year because of something bigger and scarier than we'd ever, imagine, but something that comes around every century or so, something like a pandemic. So here we have this, everybody's life changes and turns upside down to a certain extent, and for some more than others. So then we, Chris and I certainly have taken that opportunity and taken the time from the things that we might not have, usually have done, the typical things, and embraced that time to stay creative, but in a different way. So I've learned all these new things, and anything to do with celebrating my career, I've gotten such a even bigger appreciation of it. And it's with, podcasts like yours and people like Chris to drive me along, and all these fans that I chat with online and the reaction I get. That's all. It means the world to me. It really does. And, of course, I realize that it's helping my career, because people are talking about me again. But it's not all about just look at me. This is something I'm really proud of, and I love the fact that it means something to people.
It does.
Awesome. Yeah, we can't thank you guys enough.
Well, thank you guys, man.
And real quick before we let you go, Bruce, last week we had Neil and Phil from the Kissmas Masquerade. We know that you're going to be doing that in a couple of weeks. You and Todd are going to be doing an acoustic set.
Already, Todd and I, yes.
Yep. So everybody's excited for that. And your New Year's Eve auction you just announced too, the KISS Live auctions. So that's going to be great. So guys, stay safe. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Cheers, Bruce. Thanks, buddy. Thanks, guys.
Oh, shit, I forgot to hit record. Thank you.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.
So there you have it, the 40-song Bruce Kulick draft with the awesome Bruce Kulick, the great Chris Jericho, and us picking our favorite songs from that era. And wow, not only was that just an amazing draft and tons of fun, but the inside info that we talked about with Bruce, wow. Zeus, just amazing.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. Guys, I think the takeaway from this episode, never mind, I mean, there's a million of them, but the biggest is, what the fuck was that rap on Paralyzed? Holy shit. I didn't know what he was doing. He goes, guys, you got to hear this. This is the breakdown. And he's got his phone up to it. And all of us are like, what the fuck is this? And it's just going. It's going. And then all of a sudden, some guy's rapping. We're like, what the fuck?
So there's a lot of things about that. First of all, when I first heard it, I thought it was like a goof. Like I thought like it was like somebody like a fan made like a thing for it. Zeus was speechless. I literally couldn't control myself. And with all due respect, Jericho, I think we heard enough where it was okay for me to laugh because it was hilarious. I'm to use Jericho's wording as we were texting each other after. Yeah, I was being accused of laughing like a hyena. I'm sorry. That is hyena laughing worthy because I couldn't handle what I was hearing, but it was great because if you saw the video, Jericho was deadpan. He goes, "Tom, stop laughing." I'm like, what? I'm like, I was having like flashbacks from like first grade. Tom, stop laughing. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? How are you not laughing at this?
I'm like, thanks, Dad. Afterwards, like, but I'm like, my mouth was wide open, jaw and Bruce is like, look at Zeus. I'm like, holy shit, what the fuck is this?
And then the thing I couldn't believe, you guys heard Bruce. That was a legitimate option. That was going to be in the song.
And then they cut it out, and he goes, that's why you hear Gene kind of mumble, because that was like the rap part. I'm like, holy shit. And that's when I told you, I was like, see, they were going to be like Limp Bizkit later on.
And it's funny. It was just mind blowing. And I don't know where Bruce got that from, but I know that there's not a lot of people, if any, who have ever heard that before.
Oh man. Wow.
It was crazy.
Listen, once this thing started, you never know. Like, we don't know Bruce well. We were hoping he'd be forthcoming, but he was right off the bat. Everything that we hoped this episode would be, it was.
Oh, yeah.
He gave us so much info. He talked about every song. I loved it. I can analyze this all day long. The first song picked in the draft, Tears Are Falling.
Yep.
Jericho, right away, Unholy. You could predict that was coming, those two songs.
Yep.
And then Tom with I Just Wanna and Forever. I think those are probably pretty solid as top four.
Yep.
And obviously he's going to take a sentimental I Walk Alone. Jericho, of course, Heart of Chrome. But the thing the other funny part in this was, at one point when he talked about I Walk Alone, he said that, the song, the lyrics are prophetic. I didn't hear what he said. I thought he said pathetic. And he's like, well, these lyrics were kind of, prophetic. And I thought, it's like, pathetic? They're not that bad. Have you heard some other KISS lyrics? And Jericho's laughing. He's like, no, prophetic, not pathetic. I was like, oh, sorry. He's like, thanks.
God, that was great. And then it was funny, too, because when they were talking about when I picked when I drafted Thou Shalt Not, and Bruce was like, oh, you know the little riff that's in the middle. And Jericho was like, oh, yeah, Hall of the Mountain King. And, of course, I made a joke. I'm like, oh, like Sabotage? Jericho's like, no, it's the composer. I'm like, I know it's not Sabotage. I made that reference because our idiot friends love Sabotage, Hall of a Mountain King. So, that was the great thing about this episode. It was everything we wanted it to be. It was funny. It had the ball-busting jokes, but it also had some trivia.
Insider baseball.
Yeah, it was just so much fun. I mean, what a way to celebrate 100 episodes. I mean, go ahead. No,
the Gear Geeks must have got a kick because Bruce was talking tech stuff too.
Oh yeah, well,
right. He was talking real tech stuff.
One of my favorite things he talked about is when I picked, when I drafted Hate. and he was talking about how that beginning of the song has all that feedback and the distortion. And Bruce tells you the story about that, how he plugs in the amp and all that crazy noise. Oh. But then, no, go ahead.
No. I was saying, I'm like, and you're hearing him explain to you how a song that you've heard thousands of times, like, holy shit, you get to that creative process. You're like, shit, this is the guy that did that. That's what I listen to all the time.
Yep. And then the backwards message, the little Billy Corgan. Remember that? Because he like all this inside info that Bruce was giving. I'm like, we didn't know any of this stuff. This stuff's, I mean, we didn't know it. Maybe there are KISS fans out there that have, inside info or context, but I was like, gee, because when you listen to it, you can hear backwards talking. And he's like, yeah, because Gene was really into the Smashing Pumpkins in that time. He was into like Nine Inch Nails and all that kind of that 90s grungy alternative stuff. Yeah, Alice in Chains. Yeah.
We, KISS, can be the next Alice in Chains. And they obviously did Carnival Souls. Totally right. I listen.
Yep, exactly.
And the other thing is, like, when you say something and you have an opinion of KISS, and then Bruce Kulick commends you on that.
Yep.
He was taught when I said, yeah, I know KISS does. That's their grunge album, but it's KISS Wave doing their grunge album, and it's still good. That's KISS's hair metal type album, but it's still KISS, and it's still good. And same thing with all the other KISS disco, but it's a good disc. All that. He's like, yeah, you're right. That's how I look at it too. We're not, and I'm like, holy shit! I got Bruce is agreeing with something I thought about,
and then some of the honesty when you picked Cadillac Dreams. Oh. And Bruce is like, yeah, Gene, no.
He's like, well, I didn't tell him it was a terrible song, but I just told him, I'm like, as soon as I picked it, Jericho, I think he was like, oh, that's a terrible song.
Meanwhile, Jericho drafted "I'll Fight Hell to Hold You," and we were doing everything.
He gives me a look like he's gonna fucking, like a parent driving a car, like looking back, like.
He got to his kids. He got so upset with it.
That I always shit on, and he loves to tell the story about My Way and the Paul voice, and I'm like, oh fucking, I think you said, the problem with "I'll Fight Hell to Hold You" is the keyboards. I'm like, no, the problem with the song "I'll Fight the Hell to Hold You" is the song "I'll Fight Hell to Hold You," and he's like, oh fuck you.
Is that the one where Bruce is like, I had a co-write on that?
Yeah, I think I'm like, I'm sorry. Bruce must be looking back like, what the fuck, dude?
Oh God! But just like, so much great stuff. And as we said at the beginning of the episode, so that drop at the beginning of Chris doing the Rise to It bit, we dropped that in there because you heard I drafted Rise to It, and Chris was like, I can't do that on cue. I can't do that on cue. I'm like, oh man.
Yeah, but mind you, we'll be minding our own business on a random Thursday afternoon or Sunday afternoon or evening or something, and we'll get a fucking voice message of him going, oh, baby.
Yeah, I'm like, you could do it then, but not during our draft with Bruce. Come on.
He'll send us these things, these clips of him singing or calling us stupid idiots for having opinions. Yeah. Fucking hilarious. But listen, I can tell you this. I don't care if it's the 100th, just because I'm saying it's the 100th, I should say.
Yeah.
This was by far, in my opinion, our best episode we've ever had. I love the interview with Carrie. I've loved some of our first episodes we did, our first drafts, our, fucking great smashes, thrashes, and shit episode. But just what we got out of Bruce, and to have him and Chris Jericho, the four of us talking music, it's almost like one of those fantasy camps. Hey, you and your friend get to sit down and talk music with KISS legend, Bruce Kulick, and fucking superstar Chris Jericho. Hang out.
That's a great way to put it.
It was the four of us talking music, having fun, doing a draft, something that me and Tom used to talk about before this podcast. Oh, let's do a draft, this and that. And you know what? Us talking about it, Tom, close your eyes, open them up again. Next, it's 100 episodes, and we're doing it with Bruce Kulick and Chris Jericho.
Yeah, it's amazing, and I've already said it, but I'm going to say it again. It's everything we wanted and more. We didn't even have to pull anything out of Bruce. Somebody would pick a song, and he'd be like, "Oh, okay, well, you know what? I listen to this," and we'd be like, "What? And he would just like say, and I love how he was honest about Paul and Gene, the competitive, how the first song on Revenge was a Gene song. The first song on Carnival of Souls was a Gene song, like different, we knew that the videos
video.
Exactly.
Oh, Paul was not happy about that.
Yep.
Like, well, why don't you play the bass in this video? Oh, he didn't like that.
Yeah.
Like things like that. It's that dynamic, the stuff that we all wish we could hear. And he's kind of telling us about it. And it's just, I'm telling you guys, we are just like you. When you hear this episode, we were the same way with these guys. We were in the middle of it, but we were still enjoying it.
Yeah, and we've gushed about Bruce before. I've said it before. He's one of my all-time favorite members, probably right behind Gene, my favorite KISS member of all time. And we've praised him for what he's done during COVID with his videos. But if it's possible to respect somebody even more, Zeus, you said it after we finally met Chris Jericho. You said, that sometimes it's dangerous to meet your heroes because you don't want your vision of them to be ruined by meeting them in person. The exact opposite with Bruce. If anything, it lifted him up for us. And just for fanboying for a couple minutes, it was just a great time. And we hope you guys enjoyed it.
Watching a video with Bruce having a printout of the spreadsheets that I sent him.
Yep.
And he's got it printed out and he's checking off and he's following the list that I sent him to play along with us. You think of that and Bruce going out of his way to do that. He didn't have to do that.
Nope.
And I go back, how did this all kind of come together a little bit? I look back to over a year ago when we went and Chris left us front row seats to go see him wrestle in Boston. And then after the show, we wanted to meet up with him. We couldn't get him. They were kicking everybody out of the stadium. You couldn't stick around. They wouldn't let us stay. And I texted him. And the next thing you know, he calls me. Like most people would be like, hey, buddy, yeah, sorry, I couldn't make it. I got shit to do. Thanks. Sorry, we couldn't meet up. He went out of it. He not only texted, he called. Then I told him, like, they're not letting us in. And he's like, no. Get the security guy on the phone. I will tell him. And he starts walking around the arena trying to find us and points us out and go, yeah, they're with me. They're my friends, and bring them down. Who the fuck would do that?
Yep.
What kind of a fucking star guy does that for people? That's the kind of guy Chris is. Chris would tell us like, hey, any luck with Bruce? Yeah. And he'd kind of smile at us, kind of like, and let us know, like, dude, he does that shit. And you know what? He is, as much as we gush about Bruce, dude, Chris is still the same way. Chris is just a different exterior. Just completely different, where Bruce is always the gentleman.
Oh, you mean are you referring to the point where after Bruce drafted Tough Love, and you were saying about Heart of Chrome, and I was like, yeah, I'm like, Tough Love's kind of like a minor league Heart of Chrome, and Jericho's like, well, why don't you let Bruce talk about the song? I'm like, what the fuck? I'm getting yelled at again by Jericho.
Oh, that's funny.
I love it.
I was like, and I was saying it too. I'm like, Tough Love. It's just too much like Heart of Chrome. He's like, well, when I came up with this, I'm like, oops, maybe I shouldn't have said that.
No, but he
explained it though.
Exactly.
He's like, two different people working on that song. I was working on Tough Love. Paul was working on Heart of Chrome.
Yep.
With I think Vinny. So I'm like,
yep.
So I mean, and it was amazing. Amazing. 100th episode. What a way to top this. And we had been working on this and planning it. And we were like, okay, we got to have it at this date. Exactly. We got to time it. And, you guys on. And the funny thing is, we had issues with Skype the day before. We've had a little bit of issues with Skype today, but we didn't have any issues when we taped with those guys. Thank God.
Thank God. It went perfect. And we hope you guys enjoyed. Well, I'm pretty sure you guys are going to have a blast with it. And, we sure as shit did.
Oh, one other thing I do want to mention, though.
Yeah.
Which I found interesting. We didn't talk about. Nobody drafted Crazy Nights.
Yeah, that is amazing. I I don't know. I mean, there's as usual, you got 4 of us here, 40 songs, tons of deep cuts. I mean, and I mentioned it during the draft too. The entire Revenge album was drafted with the exception of Car Jam, the instrumental. But, a lot of those albums were kind of cherry picked, but we all took Revenge. We and that proves, and Bruce loves that album. You could hear him raving about that album. But yeah, Crazy Nights was a standout for in terms of undrafted songs. Yeah.
Yeah. I would say that was the biggest one. Shocked me.
Yep.
Because it was a hit on the radio a little bit. They played it on this tour on End of the Road. They played it.
Yep.
It's the title track. There's a video for it. It's just, in my opinion, the song's not that good. And to have one member of KISS, 3 huge KISS fans, and nobody took it.
Yep.
Maybe we were onto something. So anyways, I just thought that part was interesting. But, the other parts were, the songs that were selected. I love that he tipped his hat to Eric Carr and drafting Little Caesar.
Yep.
I like the fact, and I knew he was going to take My Way and I'll Fight Hell to Hold You, Heart of Chrome, and the one that I knew he was going to get. And because it was just one of those things that I if I had another pick, I'd probably take. I knew he was going to steal Turn on the Night from me. I knew.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And I let it go too long. And, that was kind of predictable. But fucking so much fun.
It was. And it was funny too that Jericho kind of knew about the Hot in the Shade trifecta that you mentioned. When you took King of Hearts, I took Silver Spoon, and Jericho was like, all right, I'm sorry.
No,
you took You Love Me to Hate You.
Yeah.
I took Silver Spoon. He took King of Hearts. Yes.
It was a run on that. And then how great was that Bruce is like, all right, that's the melody. The medley, excuse me.
Yes.
That's the medley I'll do.
Yep. And it was funny because as Bruce was saying that, he was actually writing down things.
Yeah. So we're like, please do it.
So yeah,
that song kicks ass.
So Zeus is for the first time actually starting to crawl inside my brain about the KISS cruise.
Yes.
So because after sitting down with Bruce and Chris, and that the fact that they cruise, I'm sitting here going,
and they were giving me shit about it. They're like, yeah,
oh yeah,
when we see you up there, we're gonna kick the shit out of me or throw me overboard or something because of my picks. I'm like, Tom, you gotta go. There's one more. There's a spot there for you, buddy. You gotta go. We got our good friend Steve from Potter Than Hell will be with us. Yep. We also have Sonny's brother Danny will be with us. Yep. Oh my God,
I know. We'll
if
see.
I'm going to get COVID with somebody, let's be us together.
The COVID cruise. All right, let's go.
COVID cruise. The COVID KISS cruise. Oh,
yes.
Yeah. So,
man.
I don't know, Tom, in closing, thank you to Bruce Kulick. Thank you to Chris Jericho. And thank you for you guys. If this show was me and Tom and 2 of you, as much as Chris may want to be a nice guy and Bruce too, they wouldn't be on the show.
No.
But Bruce made a point to say to us that we have a lot of interaction with him. He sees our fans always interacting with him. Chris says the same thing.
Yep.
Like, you guys are what gets us Bruce Kulick on the show. You guys are what gets us Chris Jericho, Martin Popoff, Kerry Stevens, Phil Shout, and more. It's going to get bigger and better. So thank you guys for doing it, because this was a team effort. I think this episode will live on. I think the interview was incredible. I think that you guys will enjoy this. And please share it, post it, talk about it. Let's let this thing go viral, because it was that good, in my opinion.
Absolutely agree. Yep. We said it earlier. We'll say it again. We thank you guys for just keeping the show engaged and interacting, sharing, posting, retweeting, etc. And get this one out here. We want people to hear this. We want people to see the kind of guy that Bruce really is. They know it, but we got a peek behind the curtain, and you guys got that same peek. So we hope you guys had fun with it.
Yeah, and Chris as well.
Absolutely.
So, Tom, we usually end with a question. We got something?
Yeah, we got one here. So I'm going to kind of paraphrase this one a little bit because it's a good question.
Okay.
But this comes from David Clark on email, and it's a question about album titles. So he says, sometimes the album titles seem to be pretty random. Sometimes they're after songs on the album, like Hotter Than Hell, Creatures of the Night, Love Gun, Lick It Up. Sometimes they're completely unrelated. Some of them are iconic, like Dress to Kill and Destroyer. But other ones make no sense, like Animalize, Sonic Boom, whatever. So his question is, if you could change the title of one KISS album, what would it be and how would you change it? Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah.
He kind of, the first one top of my head is he kind of changed, he mentioned it. Animalize is stupid. I don't even get it. But, it's one of those things where do you consider the fact that a title track, would you change Love Gun? Would you change Lick It Up?
No.
Creatures of the Night?
Right.
I don't know. I don't think I would change those. I think you got to stick with those. So if you go through the original 6, self-titled, Hotter Than Hell, that's a fucking ballsy title. Dress to Kill, it matches the cover.
Yep.
Right? Destroyer looks badass. It sounds, I'm a destroyer. And look at the fucking wasteland that they're on top of.
Yep.
Rock and Roll Over, the circle, the faces, the image. Okay. Dynasty's a great word. And before the album came out, that was a KISS Dynasty. But by the time the album came out, I don't know. Oh, I know. What am I thinking? Unmasked is the. What am I thinking? They weren't unmasked.
Yeah, that's where I was going to lean towards. I mean, I think it was tongue in cheek as the cover, the comic book cover kind of.
Though.
Yeah, it's stupid. But the other ones, look, Animalize is the easy one to go to, but it's the 80s. Asylum. I honestly think we've said this before. We're not going to get into album covers.
Do you think they came up with Asylum because of Ginger Lynn's Asylum?
Ooh, maybe.
Wasn't that the same era?
That was 85 or whatever, 86. I think, honestly, we said this before. I'm not just talking about the album cover. I think Monster is just fucking lazy. I think it's a lazy album title. I think it's like, oh, we're KISS, we're Monster. I just think,
I think
Sonic.
It's been a title of so many other albums.
Well, that's the thing. There's nothing original about it. Carnival of Souls, it's a KISS album. Hot in the Shade, it's a KISS album. Sonic Boom, it's a term. Maybe it's not a strong KISS title. I mean, Psycho Circus, it's a KISS album. You're not going to confuse it with any other band. Monster, it's just a generic one word. It's just a generic word. So honestly, I don't have really much good to say about Monster at all. So if I'm going to pile on, the artwork sucks. Most of the album sucks. The album title sucks.
Yeah, I probably would stick with Unmasked. Save it for when Lick It Up came out.
Yeah, okay. Good one. But that's a great question, and we could spend way more time on that. But David, thank you so much for reaching out to us. That's a very thoughtful question, and we appreciate that, David. So thank you.
Yeah, was Christy Cannons in Ginger Lynn's Asylum?
First of all, it's Christy Canyon, like the Grand Canyon.
Oh,
but I like your name. I like what you call her, Christy Cannons.
That's our friend Sonny Pooney favorite.
Hey, Sonny Pooney, what a piece of shit that guy is now.
Oh, that's mine too. No, he likes all the diversity picks.
Diversity picks. Diversity porn.
Exactly. He likes woke porn.
Cannons.
Oh God.
Anyway, so yeah, I think that people kind of got the episode. And Tom, where can they find us?
Yeah, so as David found out, our email address, shoutitoutloudcast@gmail.com, shoutitoutloudcast@gmail.com. Feel free to reach out to us with questions, comments, episode ideas, whatever you want. We usually read them all on the air. Sometimes we'll respond on the email as well. Our social media, we're on all those: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. That's where we're the most active. Comment, reach out, tag us, all that good stuff. You guys are part of the family, so stay involved with that. We're a part of the Great Pantheon Podcast Network. Over 40 different shows on that network, ranging from all different genres. Some awesome shows there, and we're proud to be part of that family. And our show can be heard on all the big ones: Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, etc. Pretty much every platform we're out there. And our Facebook group is Shout It Out Loudcasters. We're at about 1,100 members right now, which is awesome. Joining that group, it's one of the nice non-toxic Facebook groups. Pictures, articles, all that stuff. And of course, our good buddy Ed from Click Tea Shop, Click with a K, Click Tea Shop. Our buddy Ed, he designed our awesome show logo that you see, and you can go to his website and buy amazing KISS-inspired merchandise. You can buy Shout It Out Loudcast gear if you choose, but he also has really awesome KISS nerd insider kind of graphics. You know, some stuff from KISS Meets the Phantom, some stuff from Wicked Lester. Really, really awesome stuff. And it's not just t-shirts. It's hats, coffee mugs, everything. So check him out. That's Click with a K. Again, holidays are coming up. The KISS fan in your life would love something from Click Tea Shop. So check out our buddy Ed.
Yeah, and he's got some new graphic art photos you might be interested in.
Yep.
And Ed was also kind enough to do the this episode's photo, the photo that you guys may have saw on social media to click on the episode. So we thank Ed tremendously. A great guy. He's got a great shop. So please visit clicktshop.com. And Tom, I always tell people they can always send us direct messages. Many of you guys do that. You can send us messages on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, wherever you'd like. And please continue following us. If you can, subscribe to us. Go to Spotify, iTunes, podchaser.com, and give us one of those 5-star child reviews. And when you do that, it helps, get us to more of an audience and get more people involved, which is what we want. More people talking about the hottest band in the land and the hottest podcast in the land. KISS and Shout It Out Loudcast. So keep those 5-star child reviews coming. We really appreciate it. And please, the emails. The emails are always favored by us. shoutitoutloudcast@gmail.com. shoutitoutloudcast@gmail.com. And Tom, we always end this episode by, famous last words. What do you got?
Another day, another sorrow. No today and no tomorrow. Try and wash away the shame. And you smile in your picture frame.
Deep stuff.
From Gene Simmons. From KISS.
This is Ace Frehley. I didn't get to make this episode, but I just want to say out there to you, KISS Army, hey, rock on. Thanks a lot. Ace. All right, Tom. So mine, and I got myself to lean on. Got both my feet on the ground.
Beautiful.
Tip of the hat to Bruce there on that one.
Yep.
Can't thank him enough. Bruce Kulick, Chris Jericho, my partner here, Tom. Shout It Out Loudcast listeners and fans. KISS Army. Thank you for the 100 episodes. Couldn't have done it without you guys. Love you.
Absolutely. Bruce, we can't thank you enough. Chris, again, thank you so much. KISS Army, fans, listeners, thank you guys. You are part of this family, and this 100th episode celebration is something for you guys to celebrate too. So thank you, and we hope you guys had a blast with this because we sure as shit did.
Peace out, Girl Scout.